Derby 101, what is lead jammer and why is it so important? Well, let's take a look at how we play roller derby. So roller derby games are broken up into increments called jams, which can last up to 2 minutes. Now, before each jam can start, each team will field 4 blockers and 1 jammer per team. So Team SpongeBob here has 4 blockers and 1 jammer. The jammer is the one that wears a star and they start behind the jammer line. And then Team Patrick also has 4 blockers and 1 jammer. Patrick is also wearing the star and that is their jammer. In roller derby, you score points by passing opposing blockers. So when the jam starts, indicated by a whistle, each jammer is off to the races to try and get past the other team. Now, an important point here, you have to make it past the opposing blockers, do an entire lap, and then when you come back around, that's when you start scoring points by passing people. So a lot of the hard work is at the beginning of the jam. You have to get past the blockers once, do your lap, and then you can start scoring. Now, whoever gets through first is really important because they become the lead jammer. So say the whistle blows, the jam starts, and each jammer is off to the races. And here you have it, SpongeBob made it through first. So SpongeBob would be declared the lead jammer. Now, the important thing about lead jammer is that you can call off the jam before the 2 minutes expires. Like I said, a jam lasts for 2 minutes, but if you're lead jammer, you can call off the jam early. And this will come into play here in a second. Now, how do you know who is the lead jammer and who's not? That's kind of hard to keep track of, right? Well, lucky for us, there's a referee following the jammer for each team. These jam refs are on the inside of the track and they indicate whether a jammer is lead or not lead and also keep track of points. So if you get lead jammer, a jam ref will point at you like this. Alright, so back to the action. SpongeBob made it through first, so SpongeBob is lead jammer. He has to come all the way around before he can start scoring points. Patrick, however, is still fighting through, trying to get past the opposing blockers. SpongeBob ready to score points. Here we go. Alright, and just like that, SpongeBob got through. He got 4 points because he passed 4 opposing blockers on Team Patrick. And unfortunately, the jammer for Team Patrick is still stuck. But in a turn of events, the jammer for Team Patrick did make it through, and now both jammers are eligible to score points at this time. SpongeBob already has 4, Patrick has 0, but he can score points if he makes it around. So this is when strategy comes into play. SpongeBob knows that now Patrick is out and he can score points, so what SpongeBob wants to do is just pass as many blockers as he can before Patrick makes it around, and SpongeBob does just that. He passes the Patricks once again, earns another 4 points, and calls off the jam before Patrick can score any points. And what does it look like when a lead jammer calls off a jam, you might ask? Well, it looks like this. They repeatedly tap their hips and then the jam is over. And that, my friends, is why lead jammer is so important. You have the ability to call the jam early, score your points before the other team even has a chance to score theirs. All right, hopefully that made sense. Let me know if you have any questions.